Okay, so I'll start now. So can everyone see my screen? Please respond. Okay. Okay, so before starting, let me introduce myself. So hi everyone, I am Shoroshich and currently I'm studying in second year BCA and I am an Alpha MLSA. So MLSA stands for Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador and this event is powered by Microsoft, you can say. And you can see the slides all over, you can see the branding of Microsoft. Okay. And thirdly, I'm a game developer. I have made several games and I have also worked with publishers and also published my own games, mostly Android. Okay, now let's move forward. So, what is the agenda of today's meeting? At first, we will go through the introduction to game development. So, I will just go over the basic things. Like, I will not go over so much technicalities today because as it is an introductory session, and then I will tell about how can you use GitHub Copilot as a game developer. So yeah, and at the end of the meeting, there will be a quiz session. So the first three people, so whoever the first three people will come in the leaderboard will get a swag from me tomorrow. Okay, so listen very carefully today's meeting. Yeah, so as I said, this is how many of you know who this guy is? Please write in the chat. Lester. Okay. Yeah, so GTA Gaga, yes. Trevor. Yeah. So, for those who don't know, so his name is Trevor. You can say him Uncle Trevor. So, he's a pretty nice guy actually, very gentle guy, very empathetic person, but he has a little bit of anger issues. So, you are seeing Uncle Trevor now. At the end of the meeting, you'll see him and he will ask you the questions. Okay. So, be prepared and listen to me very carefully. Okay. So, yeah, let's start. So at first I wanna ask, what is a video game to you? I mean, if someone says video game, what definition do come to your mind? You can write anything, just no worries. You can write in the chat. To you, what is the definition of video game? Ludo. Okay. Anyone? Refreshment, yeah. Masses, it's a masses, it's a waste of time. Yeah, इतना भी सच नहीं बोलना था भाई. Time pass. Okay, yeah, we are getting few responses. So if I like put simply, so simply put, video games are nothing but a complex piece of software. It is nothing more than that. And yeah, as you have said, that video games can be used for entertainment, relaxation, and learning too. So uh, we all know that video games are hugely mostly used for entertainment and relaxation. But how many of you know that video games can also have ties with learning, and it is hugely utilized in the edtech market too. A virtual competitive entertainment, yeah, it is also correct. Okay, how many of you heard about the famous game series called Assassin's Creed? Have you heard any of you? Yes. Okay, so if you do not know that Assassin's Creed, yeah, but never played. Okay, no worries. So Assassin's Creed is just a video game, fictional. You can say that this falls under the category of history fiction, right? So they just choose a historical period and they make that fiction, and the story revolves around the historical settings. So the universities and colleges, now the school have noticed this, and they have reached the team of the Assassin's Creed that like kids are learning history very clearly and very fast through the video games. So what the Assassin's Creed team did that they just cut out the combat and the story from the games and they just put the historical settings. Okay. So Assassin's Creed Discovery Tour, it is the title of the games. So these are hugely used in the universities and the colleges, the schools, where everywhere in the Western world. But yeah, Assassin's Creed is great for learning history. Yes. So as I was saying, so this is an example of how video games are can be used for learning too. It is very interesting concept. Okay. So now let's jump into the next topic. So yeah, now the question comes, who is a game developer? Okay. So it is very easy to get frustrated like this guy. Like, do you know who I am? Because the term game developer is very complex itself. It covers a lot of people. So it is said that the term game developer is an umbrella term. Like imagine an umbrella. Under that, a lot of people can fit. Okay. So everyone involved in the process of making a video game can be called a game developer. So everyone from programmers, artists, game designers, level designers, or even game testers, all the people which are involved from beginning to end can be called game developers. So yeah, it's a very huge term in itself. So you cannot just say I am a game developer and that's it. That's just the beginning. You have to specify what you do. Now, now the question is, how can you be a game developer? The simple answer is yes, by making games. Okay. But now the question arises, how can you make games? Because it is easier said than done. Now let's go to the next slide. Okay. To make games, first you have to choose a game engine. So how many of you have heard about game engines? Unity, Unreal. How many of you heard about those piece of softwares? Can you write in the chat if you have heard? Okay. Someone is raising hands. Do you guys want to say something? Little bit about Unity. Can you? Okay. Shinjon. Okay, Shashwat, if you want to, if you have any queries, you can say. You can unmute yourself because you have raised your hand. Do you want to say something?
No, no, no.
Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah, so many of you have heard about those engines, right? Unity game development software enables you to create. Yes, yes, absolutely correct. You are. Now the question arises that how can you choose? How can you know what game engine is suitable for you? So game engines are nothing. Game engines are just software that were made specifically for making games. You can make games everywhere. I mean, if you suppose if you are coding in C language, VS Code, and in the IDE itself, you can make simple games like snake games or whatever. But have you ever watched how many lines of code you have to put? There's a lot of effort. Like, I mean, it is kind of impossible to make something more than that in those IDs. So those IDs are not like made for making games. So here comes the game engines. Game engines are software that were made specifically for making games. Okay. So how can you choose your game engine? So there are few things to consider. First one, you should see if the game engine have active and large community. Okay. So you can get the support. Second one, enough resources. Are is the game engine that you are choosing have enough resources for you to learn? And third one is support. Like if you suppose you're working into a big game, making a big game, and you get into some error, the game engine suddenly stops working or throws some error, and it is specifically happening to you. Can you reach out to them and can they help you? So is the support system good? You have to consider that. And the last one is complexity. And the last one is complexity because game engines are little bit complex piece of software. So, okay, so no game engine is easy. People say that Unity is easy or Unreal is hard, because I say that no game engine is easy. Everything is hard to learn, but it becomes easier once you do. So regarding that, I would say that at first you should choose game engine that is very easy. Easy means that have enough resources, have active and large community, have good support, and less complex. So if you put these four things, then I would suggest Unity. I know that previous year Unity has gone through some controversies, but now it is mostly fixed. You can easily use this for making games and for learning. For students also, Unity is amazing because comparatively Unreal or any other engines in the market, Unity is fairly easy to learn, I would say. Okay, now let's move forward. Okay, now you have chosen your engine. Now what? Now you have to learn by creating. If you do not create games, you cannot learn anything. And this applies for everything, everything in the IT field. So now you have to follow YouTube tutorials or official documentations for learning basic functionalities of the game engine of your choice. So suppose you have chosen Unity, okay. You what you have to do now, you have to go to their official documentation, go to their official site, and you can see a ton of video tutorials, written tutorials, everything is available there. Everything is available there, so you just have to like go through them and just learn the basics, how simple things work, how you can familiarize yourself with the engine, okay. You do not have to go into the depth, just learn the basics and start creating. Just it is, and one thing I should say, that it is completely okay to make clones. Like making clones is a great way for learning. So do not feel shy or afraid to make clones. So you can make clones of very simple games, like the one game you play when the internet is off in Google Chrome, like the dinosaur run. Okay, you can try creating that. You will learn a lot, like a lot of things, if you start making games and start making these simple small games. So yeah, this is first one. Learn by creating. Always remember that. And the second one is, now you have, suppose you have created your game, you have created the simple dinosaur run, suppose. Now what you do? So do not be like here, like Trevor Franklin and Michael. Do not just close your eyes and close your ears. Do not do that. Always share your game with your friends, share it with online communities, or even Play Store. You can share that, and always see what people are saying about your game. Always see the reviews. It is very important to, like, you have to open to feedbacks. I know that sometimes people are not just so kind to give you nice feedbacks, but you have to listen to those. There's no way, otherwise you cannot improve yourself, okay. So yeah, do not be like them. Now if you have any question, you can write in the chat. Anyone? Okay, okay, you can unmute yourself, Shomo.
Thank you, Sarojit. My question is, as a beginner, what type of challenge may I face while building the small type of games?
Okay, so here is the funda, like, as a beginner, if you start creating small games, okay, you will get into various types of difficulties, and this is why you should start making games. And suppose you are making the dinosaur run game, you don't know how to move the dinosaur in a specific direction continuously. You don't know what is the logic behind the like game, okay. So you just go to Google or whatever site is your favorite, you just search up, or you ask in local communities, then how can you solve the problem. and you will see that a lot of people are supporting you because the community of game development is very supportive. Okay, so you just go through those, like, go through some forms or go through some people who are ready to help you, and whatever you have learned from those, just apply it. And still, if you do not see that your game is working, then automatically you will find out your logic, and this way the logic builds actually happens. Okay, so yeah, that's why it is very important to start creating. Is there anything you want to ask? Okay, yeah, learning in public, as Abhishek da have said, always. Okay, now listen to the next section very carefully, because in the quiz which will happen at the last, many questions will come. Okay, so now before moving forward, I would like to talk about GitHub Copilot. So how many of you have heard about this tool, GitHub Copilot? Have anyone heard? Yeah, someone raised their hands. Is related to OpenAI? Yes, yes. Yeah, many people have heard. Okay, great. So yeah, many of you have said that GitHub Copilot is a tool made by GitHub in collaboration with OpenAI, and it is just your coding assistance, you can say. So Copilot provides contextual assistance throughout the software development cycle, from code completions in the IDE to code explanation, whatever. So it's like your little small assistant, like Copilot. You are, suppose you are a pilot and he's your assistant. So this easy. So yeah, basically Copilot lets the developer to focus more on problem solving and put less effort on the mundane part of coding. So in coding there are a lot of repetitive tasks, right? Suppose in context of game development, if I like, if you're making a first person game, the how the camera will work, how the like basic movements will work, these are like mundane part of coding, like this is very repetitive and very mundane. So those codes can automatically be completed by Copilot. Okay, so yeah, now the question is, how can you effectively use Copilot? Someone have raised their hands. Do you want to say something? Dhrubajyoti, Dhrubjati Dev, you want to ask something? You can unmute yourself if you like. Okay, then I'll move forward. Okay, now the question is, how can you effectively use Copilot? First, I will tell you how can you install it. So yeah, in VS Code, in left hand side, you can see that you can install extensions. So you just have to search for Copilot, and here the GitHub Copilot extension will pop up. You have to install it, and yeah, and you have to connect it with your GitHub account. And if your GitHub account have Copilot access, you can easily use it. I will tell you later that how can you claim GitHub Copilot for free. So tune with me. Well, now here is a small like example of how can you use it. So here you can see that in this function, you just have to comment it, like make, suppose you are making a game, there's a cube and you want to move that cube left and right, you just have to make that comment. So make the cube move left and right, you just have to write that and press enter. If you press enter, you can see that the line is automatically grayed out, so you just have to press tab. So review the line and press tab, and then the line will get completed. Okay, so this is how easy to use Copilot. Now the question is, why should you use Copilot? I mean, what are the benefits? So, so GitHub Copilot has been proven to increase developer productivity. So yeah, it is reported that uh, developers who have used Copilot, they code 55% faster. So this means that they can do lot more work in small time frame. So yeah, it is very useful in huge companies. So here is another statistics. So between 60 to 75% of users, they reported that they feel more fulfilled with their jobs and feel less frustrated when coding, and they are able to focus on more satisfying work when using GitHub Copilot. So yeah, as I said that GitHub Copilot makes you focus more on the crucial part of the coding, like where problem solving is really required. So you don't have to just put much time in the mundane part of coding. And developers have also reported that GitHub Copilot helped them stay in the flow and preserve mental effort during repetitive tasks. So yeah, as I have said, and you can see the chart too. It is, yeah. So let's move forward. Okay, now let's see GitHub Copilot in action, and I will in this section I will also go over Unity, like how Unity actually feels like. So get ready. I am sharing my screen. Is my screen visible? Please respond someone. Okay. So when you first open Unity, so the interface looks like this. So in the left hand side, you see the hierarchy tab. Let me just zoom. Okay, I hope you all can see. So in the left hand side, there are hierarchy tabs. So hierarchy tabs include all the things that is happening on your scene. The middle part is scene view. So it is where you'll spend most of your time putting assets or putting any game objects and making them work. Okay. So all the things that is present in the scene view, you can access them via hierarchy. And after the scene view, you can see the game view. Game view is there. So game view is like what is the perspective of your players, what your players will see. You can see that in the game view. So as you can see the in my game view, only cube is visible. So the player will can see only the cube. Now, how can you implement logic to that cube? Let's see that. So yeah, obviously you have to code something. So in Unity, coding happens through C sharp, and there are like various languages use various scripting languages. Like Unreal uses C++, Godot uses GDScript, and Unity uses C sharp natively. So I'm gonna just create a script. C sharp, yes. Let's name it cube behavior. Okay, okay. Now I am opening it. Yeah, you can see there are if you have studied about OOP, like object oriented programming, there maybe you can see some similarities are there, like class and object. Okay, so I will go over those in the further sessions, but for today I'll just go over some basics. So you can see there are two functions, like start function and update function. So start function gets called only once when someone starts the game. Only then the start function will get called. So things like if you want to like put a timer to a level, like there's a 30-minute timeline, you the player have to complete the game within this timing. You can code that logic in the start function. So in update section, what happens? So in update section, okay, let me just I don't think you are seeing my VS code. Can you guys see the code now? Yeah, okay. So as you can see, there are two functions like start and update. So the start function get called when the game actually gets started. So yeah, so things like timer or things that get called only once, you can code in that. And in update, things that happens again and again. Like if you are moving a player, you have to code that part in update function. Like let's use GitHub Copilot in this case. So yeah, as you can see, GitHub Copilot is enabled in my IDE. So I'm just making a comment. Uh, make the cube rotate. Okay. Let's see what Copilot does. Okay. As you can see that Copilot already suggested me this piece of code and I can say this is correct. So you have to review this. Okay. So you have to save this and go to Unity. Yeah. So if I press play, you can see that the cube will rotate. Just wait a minute. Here you can see that the cube is rotating. Okay. So this is how Unity works in general. You have some game objects. To add behavior to them, you have to code the logic, and this is how this is the baby steps for making games. This is how you will be making big games later. Okay. So yeah, this is how Copilot works. And let me give you another example. Let's move to VS Code. Suppose I want to make that in previously I have made the cube rotate. Now I have suppose I am making the cube move up and right, move up and up and down. So you can see that already I have Copilot has given me the suggestion. I just have to review it and press tab. You can see that the line gets automatically completed. So save it and move back to Unity. Here, if I press play, here you can see the cube is moving. It has gone two up. Yeah, it is moving up and right. So yeah, these little things, these are not very complex things to do. Okay, so these are very simple logics. So this can be easily done. This can be easily done by Copilot. And as a beginner, this is my suggestion that do not use Copilot at first. Like if you get habituated with the all the APIs, all the functions, and you are 100% confident on yourself that you can do these simple tasks by yourself, then you can start using Copilot. Okay, it is a great tool for developers. Okay, now let's move forward. Okay, now now it is the question that how can you get Copilot for free? So Copilot is basically a paid tool, but you can get it for free because you are a student. So everything is free for students. So you just have to go to the GitHub Student Developer Pack site, and you just have to follow the steps to get Copilot for free. I am sharing you the link in the chat, so that will be helpful. So I have shared the link. You can check that out and start using GitHub Copilot. And if you face any issue, you can contact me. I will help. Okay, now let's move forward. Now, what mistakes you should avoid as a game developer? Uh, First one, do not try to create the next GTA. So I hope you know what I mean. That do not just hope to create the next big thing. I mean, it is very like good thing to have huge ambitions, but you have to start small, right? So I have seen many people, many students just think that they will create the next GTA or the next Assassin's Creed or the next big thing, and they never finish that project and they get demotivated and they just leave. Okay, so do not just do that. You have to start small. Start with small games like the dinosaur run I have said, or anything. I will say that even smaller than that. Always start small. Okay. And the second one is do not just watch tutorials. So if you watch tutorials again and again and again, you will find out that you have not learned a single thing. And in game development, a lot of things is happening. Like you have to learn the engine too, you have to learn coding, you have to learn about the asset store. So a lot of things are happening. So you have to try it by yourself. Do not just rely on tutorials. Pick one resource. It can be documentation or tutorial. In my opinion, always go for documentations because there is nothing great than official documentations. Okay, so yeah, so do not just watch tutorials, always make your game. And the third one is the make your own project, as I have said several times before. And the fourth one is always showcase your games and ask for feedbacks. And these are must. Like a lot of people make those mistakes and they get demotivated. Okay, so you have to like avoid those mistakes whatever the cost. So anyone wanna ask something, or I will go to the quiz section next? Anyone? Okay, now let's move forward. Yeah, as I have said that Uncle Trevor will come at the end of this meeting. So it will be tested how much have learned from the event. Okay. So let me tell you the rules. The quiz, the leaderboard, will be decided by how much correct answer you have given and how much less time you have taken. Okay. And the first three winners will get swags from me. So tomorrow in college I will deliver. Okay. So let's get ready. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, let me share it. Okay. Can you see the screen? Please respond. Okay. Now what you have to do, you have to go to slido.com. So open up your browser. The meeting will continue in the background. Don't worry. Go to slido.com. Have you opened Slido? Okay, so now put the code 3196839 and please join with your real name, I would say. Otherwise, I won't be able to like identify the winners. Yeah, we're getting some participants. Everyone, please join. Otherwise, there's no point. Like you will get swags. Where is everybody? There are 21 people. Everyone should join. So let's wait some more time. So all you have to do is go to slido.com and put the code. And you can do that while staying in meeting too. The meeting will not get cancelled. Is someone facing any issues? You can just ask me. Where shall I put the code? Okay. So go to slido.com and slido.com join as a participant. You get the option, right? And here the you can see the enter the code option. So you have to just put the code there. So the code is 3196839. Rupayon, have you joined? Oh, Ayushman. Okay, done. Yes, yeah, you can also scan the QR code. Yeah, a lot of people have joined. Now the fun will begin. How many? 12 people have joined. So shall I start or wait for more? If I start, then the chances of winning you, like your chances of winning is hugely increased because only 12 people are there. Start. Okay, then I guess I will start. Get ready for the first question. Okay. Everyone can see the question? Okay. So the first one, which one is not a video game? So this is just an icebreaker. So don't worry. The other question won't be that easy. Yeah, let's find the leaderboard. Okay. So all of you can see Ankita Chakraborty is at the top. So let's see if she can stay in the top. Now get ready for the next question. So which one of them is a game developer? Game artist, game programmers, game designers, or all of them? Let's see how many of you can get it right. Okay, everyone. Nice. Yes, the correct option is all of the above. Now let's check the leaderboard. Let's see if anything have changed. Okay, Abhishekda is at the top now. So yeah, if you want to beat those two, you have to be more fast, I suppose. Yeah. So now get ready for the next question. Okay. Now the next question is which game engine uses C sharp as scripting language? Unreal, Unity, Godot, or Game Maker? It's very easy. Just choose the right option. Okay, let's see now. Again, all of you have guessed correctly. Wow. Let's see the leaderboard now. Okay. Abhishek is still at the top. Can Shreyas Ghosh beat them too? Or those who are in the like 3, 4, 5 position? Let's see what happens. Okay. You can make games in Unreal Engine using which language? This one is easy too. Ah, some people have chose the wrong answers. No worries. Yeah, C++ is the right answer as I have said. Okay. Ankita Chakraborty is still at the top. Oh, but the in second position there is someone new, Shreyas Ghosh. Okay, let's see what happens. Now, what is GitHub Copilot? A collaborative coding platform, an AI-powered coding assistant, an open source programming language, or none of them? Let's see. Okay, time for the leaderboard. Okay, 90% of you have answered correctly. Yes. Still, no one can beat her. There are just 2 seconds of like competition, 27 seconds and 20, 30 seconds. Okay, let's see what happens next. So get ready for the next question. What is one limitation or challenge with good GitHub Copilot? The need of human review, lack of integration with popular IDEs, or no limitations? Hmm. No, there is a limitation that you have to review. Like I was just reviewing the code right before completing the line. Yeah. So the first one is correct. Let's check the leaderboard now. Still, no one can beat her. Let's see what happens. Only, I think, 4 questions left. Okay, Copilot comes free with GitHub Student Developer Pack, Google Developer Pack, Ubisoft Developer Pack, or free for everybody. Yeah, GitHub Student Developer Pack, right. No, it is not free for everybody. I have said that. Now let's check the leaderboard. Okay. Still, she is at the top. Let's see what happens in the end. Okay, get ready for the next one. So you made your first game. What should you do now? Be happy and keep it to yourself. Move on with your life or showcase it and ask for feedbacks. What should you do? Yeah, everyone is correct. Now let's see the leaderboard. Still, still she's at the top. Let's see what happens next. Now, which things you should consider while choosing a game engine? Large community, enough documentation and tutorials, large asset store, or all of the above? Yes, every one of you is correct. All of you have heard. Thanks for that. Okay, now leaderboard time. Still the same. Now it's time for the last question. The first three winners will get stickers from me. Okay, I will give it to them tomorrow. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Which engine is vastly used for AAA games? AAA games means the big game industries. Which engine is used there among the four? Yeah, Unreal is the correct option. Unity is not that much used in AAA games. Unity is mostly used in mobile games. Okay, so Unreal is like vastly used for AAA games. Now it's time for results. Let's see. Wow, yeah, we have a winner. So congrats to Shreyas Ghosh. So all 10 out of 10. And second one is Ayushman. Congrats. And third one is Dhruvajyoti Dev. Okay, so you guys will get stickers from me. So after the event, DM me, and in the tiffin time, I will give you stickers. Okay. Now let's move back to the PPT. Okay, so like that was all for today. So thank you all for joining. And here are my socials. You can follow me or you can DM me there if you have any queries about today's session. And so this was my first event. So I hope you all have enjoyed. Let me share you the feedback form. Please be very honest and do fill up the feedback form. Let me just share 1 second. Okay, so here is the link. Please do fill up the feedback form, or otherwise I won't be able to like learn how I did and what in which areas I have to improve. Okay, so thank you all. If you wanna ask something about this event, like if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. If you do not have any doubts, I will end this event. So if you do you have any doubts, if you have doubts, or okay, someone has raised their hands. You wanna say something, Dhruvo Jyoti?
Yes, there are many lots of free assets in the Unity. Uh,
Yes, yes.
we can use it, but if I want to create it, I have to learn the Blender or Unreal Engine.
Yes, you have to learn Blender, not Unreal.
Okay, okay.
Yes. So for 3D modeling, you have there are several softwares for 3D modeling, right? And Blender is one of the most popular. So if you want to create your asset, you have to learn Blender. And learning Blender is like very time consuming. Like you have to put extra effort. Like learning game engine, and beside that, learning Blender is very like time consuming task. So that's why asset stores are there. But if you want to learn Blender alongside of learning Unity, you can also do that. It will be like at the end of the day, you will be like knowledgeable about Blender. Okay. So yeah.
Can you please share some playlist of YouTube? I can
Yes,
learn
yes.
Blender.
Obviously, I will do.
Okay,
Uh,
thank you.
I will share that in the GTSC group. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Thanks. Anyone? Do you wanna ask something? You can if you. Okay, someone has suggested some resources. Yes, you can check that out. Do anyone have any questions? If you do not have, you can write in the chat no, or if you have, you can chat yes. Yeah, thanks to Abhishek Da for helping me. Like it is my first event, so I was very nervous. How can I like? So thanks a lot for helping. Cannot log in the fill up from it says can join. Okay, let me check out. Okay, I will resend the form. Let me resolve the issue. Okay, it is asking for sign in, right? Okay. Let me just. Okay, just hang on a few minutes. I will share the feedback from. There are some issues going on. Can you please check out the link now and let me know is it working or not? Okay. Yeah, it is working. Thanks. So please do fill up the form and let me know. And after filling the form, you can write in the chat that you have done it. Then I will end the session. Okay, yeah, I'm getting responses in the feedback from. Everyone 5 stars. No, just be like, you can be like honest if you think something is missing. Okay, thank you all for joining today's session. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. And again, thanks a lot for joining. I'm ending this meeting now. Okay. Goodbye, everyone.